Hola, ¿cómo están? I'm Marta Martinez with Hooked on Spanish. Today, you are going to learn how to write sentences with what we call in Spanish reflexive verbs. If you are using my book, the Spanish book Level 1, we are right now in Chapter 3, page 44. Now, if you are interested in buying my book, please check the links below the description. The reflexive verbs in Spanish express an action done by the subject to itself. What does this mean? This means that reflexive verbs, when they are used in a sentence, the person that do the action receives the action. For example, if I wash my hair, I'm doing the action, washing my hair, I put the soap on the water, and I receive the action of that. The same as when I brush my teeth or I comb my hair. Those are actions that you do and you receive the action. This is called in Spanish reflexive sentences. Now, when we have reflexive sentences in Spanish, we do need to use the reflexive pronoun. Now, we have to have 6 reflexive pronouns, and we have them right here because we have 6 personal pronouns. If you remember, in one of my first lessons, I taught about personal pronouns, and I used the same kind of charts that you will have 3 positions on the left and 3 positions on the right, and they will match the personal pronouns. Then these reflexive pronouns, me, te, se, nos, os, and se. Then the me goes with yo. This will be yo me, tú te, él se, ella se, and usted se. Remember that in the third person, we have 3 personal pronouns. That will be él, ella, and usted. Now we go to the plural side, and it will be nosotros, nosotros nos, vosotros os, and in the third person will be ellos se, ellas se, and ustedes se. Let's go to the next page in here. And how do we use them? How do we use the reflexive pronouns? We will place the reflexive pronouns in front of the reflexive verb. If we have a reflexive verb that will be here, lavarse, to wash oneself, then we do need to use the reflexive pronoun right in front. This is the verb of the sentence right here, lavo, and the reflexive pronouns will go in the front. Now, because I'm washing my hands, the action is reflexive. Then it will yo me lavo las manos. I'm doing the action of washing and I'm receiving the soap and the water. Then this action is reflexive. We don't need to use the reflexive pronoun in the sentence. Now, the conjugation, we learned that in lesson 5. If you look at my video, lesson 5, Spanish verbs, then you will see that I gave you there the present tense of all regular verbs, and you already will know that the conjugation for yo is an o, and that's why I say yo lavo. Now we add the reflexive pronoun, and this becomes yo me lavo las manos. Now, if we do an action, and here we have another example where the action is not reflexive. If I wash the car, it's not reflexive because I'm doing the action, and who receives the action of the soap and the water? The car. Then the person doing the action is not the same as the thing or person receiving the action. In this case, the car is receiving the action, then the sentence is not reflexive. Then notice that in here, we don't have the reflexive pronoun, but the verb, the conjugation of the verb is the same. What you learn in lesson 5 doesn't change. The conjugations will stay the same. The only thing that changes with reflexive sentences is that you do have to place the reflexive pronoun, and in this case, in front of the conjugated verb. But if it's not reflexive, notice here, yo lavo el carro. I wash the car. It's not reflexive action. We do not have the reflexive pronoun. Now we see here llamarse. And a lot of people know that we talk about the names, and sometimes I will say, mi nombre es Marta. That literally translates, my name is Marta. But most of the time, Latin people will say, yo me llamo Marta. Now, this is like I call myself Marta. If you were going to literally translate that, it will be I call myself Marta. Now, llamarse is the infinitive, and it is reflexive. Llamarse, it is a reflexive verb. And that's why I have to say yo me, I use the me, llamo Marta. In this case, yo me llamo, the example is here, yo me llamo Jorge. We have to put the me because llamarse is reflexive. Then you have the yo, llamo, and sinano, the same, following the rules of the conjugations for the present tense for regular verbs. Lesson 5. And you put the me in front. When you talk about other people's names, like my sister, la hermana mayor, or the older sister of George, she calls herself Gloria. Now why we have se? Because the sister is in the third position, will be she. We go and see the pronouncing here, the sister will be right here. That's why will be la hermana de Jorge se llama. We can substitute la hermana de Jorge por ella. Ella se llama. And that's why it goes right here. Then la hermana mayor de Jorge se llama Gloria. Now if we use the plural, los hermanos de Jorge se llaman Alberto y Luis. Okay, now it's again se, because it's, as you notice, singular or plural will be se. Then for él, ella, usted es se. Y for ellos, ellas, ustedes is se. That's why in here, los hermanos de Jorge, that will be they, se llaman Alberto y Luis. Now, in the dictionary, when you look for verbs in the dictionary, this se, you will see that llamar, for example, is an AR verb, and the se is like a little flag. Consider the se a little flag that is telling you, hello, I am reflexive. If you use me in a sentence, you have to use the reflexive pronouns. That's what this says here. But look, the ending is AR, and then you have the se. And lavar, this is lavarse. In any case, that will be also an AR verb, and the se will indicate that it is a reflexive verb. And the same will happen with the ER and the IR. We will have ER-SE or IR-SE. That's how you find them in the dictionary. And that is a little flag telling you, I am reflexive. Don't forget to use the reflexive pronoun in the sentence. Now we have some verbs that are most of the time reflexive, like lavarse, lavarse, to wash oneself, peinarse, to comb, levantarse, to wake up, bañarse, to take a bath, cepillarse, to brush, moverse, to move from state to state or to another house, ducharse, to take a shower, acostarse, to go to bed, casarse, to get married, vestirse, to get dressed, dormirse, to fall asleep, enojarse, to get mad, afeitarse, to shave, despertarse, to wake up, arrepentirse, to regret. Now notice verbs like casarse or arrepentirse or moverse. It goes a little more in depth in Spanish about reflexive verbs, because it's not only an action that you can feel or do, like when you wash your hair. It's also actions that affect you emotionally. Think about it. If you get married, it changes your life. Then to get married is reflexive. Moverse, when you move from one state to another state, or when you move to another house, it also affects you. That verb is reflexive. Another verb is to graduate. It also affects you. You graduate and then change your life. It is also reflexive. And then you will be learning little by little, and you will learn with practice how to use them and which verbs are reflexive. But this gives you a very good idea of how we use them. Now let's see here. We have a little bit of, here practice, few sentences that we can go ahead and practice and see if you can place the reflexive pronoun. Now we have nosotros. Now nosotros will go right here, right? If you get the chart of the personal pronouns, you know that nosotros goes in this position. Then the reflexive pronoun is nosotros nos. Lavamos las manos. Y you have José y Carlos. José y Carlos is they. That will be right here. José y Carlos quieren moverse a Miami. Yo is right here. Then is yo me lavo las manos todos los días. Tú, second position, on the left. Tú te levantas a las 8 de la mañana. Mi madre is she. It will be right here. Mi madre se peina todas las noches. Mi esposa y yo. That is we, isn't it? My wife and I. That's we. Mi esposa y yo nos acostamos temprano todas las noches. We go to bed early every night. Vosotros. This is a person that is used in Spanish. Latin people do not use vosotros, but in my lessons we practice vosotros. And you are going to get familiar with vosotros. Vosotros goes right here. Then is vosotros os. Laváis las manos antes de comer. What it means, you all, the informal way, right? You all wash the hands or your hands before eating. Now, usted. Usted goes right here. Usted no se acuesta antes de las 11. And you have the no in front of the verb, in front of the reflexive pronoun, and is you don't go to bed before 11. Usted no se acuesta antes de las 11. Now, ellos go here. Ellos se afeitan todos los días. They shave every day. Now we have questions. It is also the same. If the question is about a reflexive action, then you do need to use the reflexive pronoun. And we have here, ¿cómo se llaman sus padres? What is your parents' names? Then that will be, parents will be right here, plural, and it will be se. Look like we use the same se in the question as we will use it in the answer. And the answer will be, mis padres se llaman Rodrigo y Leonor. My parents' names are Rodrigo and Leonor. ¿A qué hora se levanta en la mañana? What time do you wake up in the morning? What time do you wake up in the morning? Now, that's se, because there is usted right here. Then is yo me levanto a las 5 de la mañana. I wake up at 5 in the morning. You can say, but you use the yo me levanto. If you say, what time do you are here? Se. And then you have to change the conjugation and the reflexive pronoun for the answer, because you have to go to yo me levanto. ¿A qué hora se acuesta en la noche? The same thing when we are asking for at what time do you go to bed in the evening, that you are right here. Usted. ¿A qué hora se acuesta usted? But if we're going to answer like I go to bed at 10 in the evening, then you go to the yo. Yo me acuesto. And also a conjugation change from to o. From acuesta to acuesto. a las 10 de la noche. Okay, that is it. That's all for today. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And join in my other lesson and check the lessons before if you hadn't done that yet. Now consider to buy my book. The book is a great help for the lessons. You can follow along and you can do all the practices that I put in the book, and all the exercises have the answer right after each exercise. You will find the answers that you can correct yourself. See you next time. To learn more about the Spanish Class Cafe, visit us at www.thespanishclasscafe.com. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to keep up with the lessons. Bye for now. Hasta luego.